Hi everyone! Well, I want to plant some veggies in this space today, but as you can see, it's a really small space. So I want to maximize the space and grow vertically. So today we're going to install a super sturdy trellis that's going to be about 6 feet high. It's really easy to install, very inexpensive. I'm going to plant some cucumbers right here, but it's also sturdy enough to plant some compact watermelon, butternut squash, or any other heavier vegetables that you might want to plant. Now I've already prepped the area for planting. Just installed the drip irrigation. All we have to do now is put in the trellis and plant some veggies. Now for a trellis today, we're using a piece of a cattle panel. The piece we're using here is 6 feet by 4 feet. Now cattle panels typically come in a length that's 16 feet long, 4 feet across. They're so sturdy. This is a 4-gauge wire, so it's going to be definitely sturdy enough to hold up heavier vegetables for future plantings in this space. Now we cut this already to size for a project we did last summer. We just cut it with a hacksaw, and a lot of you have asked me where you can get cattle panels. This one we happen to find at a Lowe's near us. You definitely want to check online before you drive to a Lowe's. Not all of them have them. A lot of Tractor Supplies carry them as well. So if you have one of those stores near you, you might be in good luck. I'm just going to eyeball where I'm going to pound the posts in and mark my spot with a little wood chip. Move this out of the way so I can get these posts pounded in. So to support our cattle panel, we want to use a nice heavy stake. So we had this laying around the yard here, and I'm just going to put it here where my mark is and pound it in about 6 inches deep so that it's nice and sturdy and holds up our cattle panel. Okay, we've got the post all pounded into place. Just set the cattle panel down here in the garden bed and then wire them to the posts. I'm going to attach the cattle panel to the post with some wire here. Pretty basic, pretty simple. Just wrap it around, give it a couple twists, and snip it off. Trellis is in, let's get some plants in. So I'm planting both some cucumber seedlings and some cucumber seeds. I like to plant cucumbers at different stages so that I have harvests all season long. So I've got some little seedlings here. These are Boston pickling cucumbers, a really nice, fresh, tasty cucumber. And then we're also going to plant some Market More seeds. So I've dug my little hole here, and I'm also going to throw in some Vermistera worm castings into the planting hole. Get these babies off to a great start. And it's going to be so much fun to have fresh, tasty cucumbers. And cucumbers are one of those vegetables that you can really plant all season long. Definitely not too late to get some started because they grow so fast. So these are going to be, we'll be harvesting these probably in about a month or so. So I've got one seedling at the end. We'll do one seedling in the middle, one seedling at the other end, and then we're going to plant some seeds in between. Now the soil in this garden bed is nice and loose. It's going to drain really well. Cucumbers like a lot of organic matter, so we've added some compost into this entire garden bed, some of the Good Dirt soil conditioner. The soil looks absolutely beautiful. And then a handful of worm castings into each planting hole. So it'll really help these cucumbers get off to a great start and grow really nicely here. And this garden bed here does get a little bit of afternoon shade, which cucumbers really, really like. The summers here get so hot, and sometimes those 100-degree afternoons are just a little bit too much for them. So we've got our seedlings in. It's going to be so fun to see these cucumbers grow up over this trellis. So let's get our seeds in too. Now cucumbers are a warm weather vegetable, and they do really well direct seeded in the garden when your temperatures are above 60 degrees. So I'm planting today the Market More cucumbers from the Spring Garden seed collection, and I'm going to drop them about every 6 inches here right along the garden bed. They can be planted closely together, and they're going to do just fine. So just drop them in the soil here about every 6 inches. And the holes in the cattle panel are 6 inches wide, so it's just perfect. You can see with the seedlings here, there's 2 in each hole. That's just fine. Cucumbers do fine planted close together. can really pack a lot in here and maximize our space by planting them closely and also by growing vertically. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little handful of soil here over the seeds, and as long as the weather stays warm, the seeds should sprout in about 5 to 7 days. It's always so much fun to see those little seedlings poke through the soil. I really like to plant cucumbers, whether it's seeds or seedlings, about once a month throughout the growing season. That way I have harvest all season long. So let's go ahead and water these seedlings in. I'm going to water with the Vermistera worm tea. Gives the good beneficial bacteria and microbes to the plants, and also with the Good Dirt plant food, which is high in nitrogen, so it really provides the nice leafy growth for the plants to get off to a good start. And I'm going to plant something else here in the front of the garden bed. I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking some lower plants, like maybe some herbs, maybe some greens, and then I always like to edge the front of the garden bed here with some flowers. So it's going to look really pretty. It's going to add a lot of nice structure and texture here to this garden bed and to the hill. Well, this was very easy to install, super sturdy too. Remember, vertical is always a great option to maximize the amount of vegetables you grow in a small space. Comment below, let me know if you're going to build a super sturdy trellis like this one, or what your favorite type of trellis is to use in your garden. And head to my website, pick up some seeds if you want to grow yourself some cucumbers as well. It's going to be so much fun to see this trellis fill in. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.